In the annals of the Imperium, there exists a shadowed corner where knowledge dares not tread, where truths are buried beneath layers of secrecy and fear. The event known as the Nekros Shroud is such a mystery, a tale so horrifying that it has been expunged from all official records. The Inquisition, in its zeal to protect humanity from the abyss, has declared any mention of the Shroud forbidden, its details redacted and locked away in vaults accessible only to the highest echelons. To speak of it is heresy, to seek it is madness. What little is known is whispered in hushed tones among the most secretive circles, fragmented accounts of an apocalyptic horror that defies comprehension. It is said that those who delve too deeply into its mysteries risk their very souls, for the Nekros Shroud is not merely an event but a lingering darkness, a stain on the fabric of reality that the Imperium strives to forget, yet can never truly erase. All that was initially known was from an astropathic distress message speaking of a colossal, pitch-black void appearing in the farthest reaches of the Ghoul Stars, consuming an entire star system and leaving behind nothing but a haunting silence completely void of life. The transmission was known as the Nekros Shroud, based on the name of the astropath who sent the frightening message Nekros Hazirias. This phenomenon was described as more than a mere black hole or warp anomaly. It was possibly thought to be a sentient, malevolent force, whispering maddening secrets into the minds of those who ventured too close, while also completely extinguishing the light from the Astronomicon. From scattered records from Archivum Tenebris on Holy Terra, it was rumored that Nekros Shroud's most insidious horror lay not in the death it brought, but in the unnatural stasis it imposed upon its victims. Those caught within its grasp did not perish, instead they became frozen in their own realities, their bodies and minds suspended in a state of eternal paralysis. Slowly those caught within the shroud would die of starvation while viewing some type of incomprehensible horror. It was reported by the salvage group Hofsun Incorporated before the company was bought and liquidated that ships adrift at the shroud's edge were found eerily intact, their crews standing motionless, eyes wide with unspoken terror, as if frozen in the midst of their final, desperate actions. Communications ceased, and instruments recorded nothing but silence. It was as if the very essence of life had been siphoned away, leaving behind a haunting tableau of living statues, trapped forever in a moment of incomprehensible dread. This grotesque tableau of suspended animation only deepened the mystery and horror of the shroud. There are theories among the most clandestine circles of the Imperium that the Nekros Shroud might be a mutated manifestation of the Tyranid's infamous shadow in the warp. Unlike the typical psychic nullification experienced during a Tyranid invasion, this phenomenon exhibited an unsettling intelligence, as if it were a sentient, malevolent entity. Some speculate that a splinter fleet of the hive mind, twisted and corrupted by unknown cosmic forces in the Ghoul Stars, evolved beyond its predatory nature into something far more insidious. This mutated shadow did not merely silence psychic communication, it whispered maddening secrets, driving those who ventured too close into insanity while blotting out the light of the Astronomicon entirely. The possibility that this could be an advanced form of Tyranid biowarfare or a new, horrific evolution of their psychic capabilities adds another layer of terror to the already nightmarish reality of the Ghoul Stars. Among the most unsettling theories about the Nekros Shroud is the belief that it is the prison of a forgotten entity, an ancient creature of unimaginable power and malevolence. According to this hypothesis, the shroud is not merely a natural phenomenon or warp anomaly but a deliberate construct designed to contain a being so dangerous that its very existence threatened the fabric of reality. This entity, whose name and true nature have been lost to the eons, is said to predate even the oldest civilizations known to the Imperium. Imprisoned by the combined efforts of now extinct races, or possibly by the early Eldar or the Old Ones, this entity was bound within the shroud, its essence sealed away in a pocket of twisted reality. The shroud's chaotic energies and whispers of madness are believed to be the result of the creature's attempts to communicate, influence, or even break free from its eternal confinement. The psychic disturbances and the extinguishing of the Astronomicon's light could be a direct manifestation of the entity's struggle against its bonds, its dark influence seeping through the prison's weakening barriers. Those who venture too close to the shroud are said to hear its tormented thoughts, fragmented and incomprehensible, driving them to insanity as their minds are overwhelmed by the sheer alien nature of the imprisoned deity. Some radical inquisitors and rogue psychers whisper that the entity may even be a forgotten god. If this is true, then the entity's power is not entirely contained as it reaches out to corrupt and manipulate those susceptible to its call. Cults dedicated to this forgotten god may exist, their members drawn to the Ghoul Stars by dreams and visions, seeking to free their dark master and unleash its apocalyptic wrath upon the galaxy. Similarly, cultists of the ruinous powers have ventured into the Nekros Shroud, drawn by whispers of eldritch secrets and forbidden power. These heretical sects, hoping to commune with dark entities or harness the Shroud's chaotic energies, have met with equally grim fates. Their ships entered the Shroud only to emerge as derelict hulks, their crews either dead or driven to insanity. Disturbing transmissions intercepted by Imperial forces hint at horrific visions and incomprehensible horrors encountered within. Some cultists reportedly tried to summon demonic aid within the Shroud, only to unleash forces that turned against them with terrifying ferocity. Those few who returned spoke in tongues, their minds shattered, while others were found in deathly stillness, their eyes wide with frozen terror. The region's reputation as a place of ultimate doom grows with each failed incursion, reinforcing the Shroud's aura of impenetrable mystery and lethal peril. Fragmented reports suggest that the renegade Ashen Claws attempted to enter the Nekros Shroud with dire results. No one knows what these renegade space marines sought, but it has been whispered that entire scouting groups were executed on sight as they exited the Shroud. Ships fired upon and utterly destroyed. The Ashen Claws are said to have stayed in the vicinity for a sizable amount of time, firing on ships or debris exiting the Shroud until they eventually left as well. They left behind a trail of destruction, death, and unanswered questions. A grim fascination surrounds the Nekros Shroud. Foolhardy explorers and rogue traders, driven by morbid curiosity and the allure of forbidden knowledge, constantly seek to uncover of this accursed region of the Ghoul Stars. Tales of the Shroud's haunting stillness and its whispers of madness entice these reckless souls. They embark on perilous voyages, often never to return, their fates sealed in the silent, frozen void. The prospect of unraveling a mystery so deeply intertwined with horror and the unknown tempts them, even as the shadows of lost expeditions loom ominously over their ambitions. Their quest for answers, fueled by hubris and desperation, continues to feed the legend of the Nekros Shroud, adding to its dark allure and the eternal cycle of madness it perpetuates. Some scholars and inquisitors speculate that the Nekros Shroud is a lingering remnant of the cataclysmic war in heaven, fought millions of years ago between the Necrons and the Old Ones. This theory posits that the Shroud is the aftermath of an ancient weapon or a psychic wound in reality, created by the immense and reality-bending powers unleashed during the war. The whispers of madness and the nullification of the Astronomican's light could be the residual psychic energy, or a malfunctioning containment field left behind. The haunting echoes and visions experienced within the Shroud might be the psychic imprints of ancient beings' final moments of terror and despair. As a scar from a war that nearly tore the galaxy apart, the Shroud remains a fatalistic reminder of the immense, uncontrollable forces that once clashed among the stars, hinting at secrets that are better left buried. The most insidious and dangerous theory about the Nekros Shroud is that it is the manifestation of an injured Krell, a malevolent warp entity that parasitizes psychers. According to this theory, the Shroud is a sentient being, trapped between the warp and real space, its psychic screams manifesting as the whispers of madness that plague those who approach. This is the very same entity that unleashed a massive plague that led to the downfall of the Old Ones, and the reason that the Necron might have entered their great sleep. This Krell, wounded and writhing in agony, seeks to heal and regain its strength by ensnaring the thoughts and souls of the unwary, though it ultimately needs the mind of a psyker, in order to successfully heal adequately. The Shroud's ability to extinguish the Astronomican's light is seen as a result of the Krell's power to distort psychic energy. If the Krell were to recover fully, it could dominate psychers and open the way for a warp invasion, turning the Shroud from a static hazard into an active, malevolent threat poised to unleash unimaginable horrors upon the galaxy. The true fate of the Nekros Shroud remains an enigma. Official records have been redacted with no mention of the event even occurring. Yet whispers persist in the dark corners of the galaxy, suggesting otherwise. Some say the Shroud still lurks in the depths of the Ghoul Stars, biding its time, its malignant influence ever present.